Is that the same look that your mom had for a certain party?
I'm sorry. Are you asking me if I'm wearing my mama's hair and clothes, or if my mama was wearing my hair and clothes?
Oh, wait a second. I'm not even noticing the.
You
Well,
sure it looks okay?
yes, I'm sure it looks okay. I'm glad you're contouring because I haven't contoured since this pandemic.
Girl, you know my contouring is very suspect. You've seen me do it, and it literally looks like I'm trying to audition for Lion King, the musical. For real. You know,
A lot of people out there look like that.
listen, and I was like, I'm gonna need for it to calm down a little bit. Then when I get in this light, I'm like, you can't see it anyway.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. It's so dramatic for the cameras, for everything else, and it enhances you. So in regular, like when you regularly do it, you're like, oh my, this is too much makeup. But when you get in front of a camera or something, you're like, oh,
You're like, well, hello there.
this is a good. This looks good.
I
I know.
still feel crazy.
Makeup, huh?
I said I still feel crazy.
That hair is. I'm loving that hair.
Why, thank you. I put it on 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Is that the same look that your mom had for the party?
Huh?
Is that the same? Oh, my battery keeps going. Hold on. Hold up. Is that the same look that your mom had for a certain party?
I'm sorry. Are you asking me if I'm wearing my mama's hair and clothes, or if my mama was wearing my hair and clothes?
Oh, wait a second. I'm not even noticing the. I'm not noticing that. I'm gonna be quiet right now.
In the spirit of this being in for real life Halloween weekend, today I came to Kaz and Fab as my mama.
As your mama.
See what
I didn't do
happens?
anything, but my mother did give me this tulle skirt. So in honor of
our mamas.
I am Mama Fox right now.
That's why I said it's exactly my mama minus the boobs. I'm still sorry, mommy. I try not to say it, but it's true.
It happens. Mine are bigger than my mom's too.
Yeah.
Mine are bigger than my mom's. Mine is, I think, the biggest in my family.
Oh, mine is not even close to the biggest in my family.
Oh, you have some big
Not
hitters?
even close.
Okay, mine, I'm definitely my grandmother had some boobs. We all have boobs, but my grandmother had some, but my great-grandmothers, and they were the ones that were both 2'6", they were 6 feet tall.
Oh, my grandma was 6 feet tall too.
Yeah, both of them.
One was 4'11" and one was 6 feet.
No, on my mom's side, both her grandmothers were 6 feet tall.
Wow.
So, but then my grandfather was short. Well, not tall. I shouldn't say short. I can call him short. He wasn't tall. He was like 5, maybe 5'9".
You about to get in trouble. You about to get in trouble.
I don't know. I mean, he passed 3 months old, so I don't remember the height.
People heard you call that man short, and then you said 5'9", and the average man is 5'8". So you called
he was 5'8".
Every man in the streets. No, you.
I'm sorry.
He was 5'4".
Yeah, he was. But he had to call mama. And then my grandmother was
okay,
like 5.
Wait. Hey, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
This is what happens. I feel like we do this for the Brunch Breakers.
Yes.
But sometimes it's mostly for us.
It is, yeah. Sometimes we just need to, especially now. This is the normal of us seeing each other. If it's not like this, it's FaceTiming. It's like I haven't FaceTimed so much. Like we did it from once in the blue last year, like when in the day, like I wanted to see Amari. Hey, see Amari. That's it. But we didn't FaceTime and all. Now that's all we do.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, and I'm in quarantine again in Philly. And so you don't FaceTime me as much because my child is not here. So
that's not true.
That's
like, not true. No, that's not true. No. I said, let you have you're in quarantine. Look at the hotel room, the quiet time, because you're a mommy beat every day. You're a mommy beat every day. So now you have some. So I'm letting you have your time. And I was sleeping all day yesterday.
Oh, I love these earrings, though. Where are these earrings?
Thank you. Patricia's my girl, my boo. Like, she makes earrings, but these she got for me.
You see, there's a chat. I'm like, why is there a chat? And there's only
because I started it because I had to go, and I might start again. You want me to send you another message? Because I have to go make coffee.
We gonna make
and I'll put
notes,
some
like passing notes in school.
Passing notes, like this is what's happening. Did you ever get in trouble with that? Did you ever get in trouble with that? Notes?
Girl, every day. Not every day, but specifically in 8th grade. Because
really?
you know, I've had the same girlfriend since elementary school. And so, and then we sprinkle in, you know, grown-up girlfriends, i.e. Fab. And so the same squad that, you know, everybody, we all sat together in class, and we used to pass notes and have nicknames for each other so that we wouldn't get in trouble. But the notes were like super detailed. So it was like, you know, I'm sitting 3 seats away from so-and-so and such and such. And it was like, I don't know why we made up nicknames, because we basically was like, and then after cheerleading practice or basketball practice, it was like, this is foolish.
I think I might have done it when I was younger, like elementary, like really young. But then when junior high and all that, I didn't do that. I don't remember notes.
Girl, I'm so tempted to post some in this when I edit afterwards, because some of them are so hilarious and dramatic and ridiculous. But
the notes?
Yeah.
Well, like, you still have the notes?
Girl, like, I'm not good at that, but I have pictures of ones that I took, that I found or whatever, that we email back and forth. Like, can you believe we were this ridiculous as teenagers? But I got in trouble in 8th grade because I didn't get along with one of my teachers. Miss Penderbean, we loved her. Awesome, dopest teacher. So she found a note, and she thought the note was about her. So she started reading the note out loud. And I was like, I would never say that about Miss Penderbean. And was like, okay, we're trying not to get caught. Because I was like, I was correcting her that I was talking about another teacher. I wouldn't disrespect her like that. But the other teacher was terrible. Like, I would be like, have a dentist appointment and not be at school. And they would, my friends would call when I got home on 3-way, because we're old. And and they would be like, do you know Mrs. Insert name here was telling you to be quiet today while you were at the dentist? Yeah, like, she just got so much in the rhythm of shushing
of you, and you weren't even.
She assumed it was me whenever, whatever. Like, I'm a person who talks a lot. That's okay, it's not entirely ridiculous, but it was rude.
That was on my report card every semester. Monifa is very intelligent. She's this, that, the other, but she talks too much. She talks too much. She disrupts the class. She talks too much.
That song, you talk too much. That was like.
Yeah. I remember one time, I'm gonna say the story, and then I'm gonna go make my coffee, and then you could, like, you know, whatever.
Talk to myself.
Exactly. Talk to yourself. But I'll be right there. We could talk from you know, I'm not that far. I had a teacher, Miss. I'm gonna say her name.
Oh, you're gonna say, was she good or bad?
She was good in some aspects, but in some aspects.
So the answer is no, Brunch Breakers. No, she was not good.
And she was really strict, and she had the whole thing of hitting you on your hand with a ruler. She was one of those old school.
No, my mama would come to the school to hit her on her hand if she put her hands on it.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. So we're sitting down doing our thing, and I had to go throw something away.
Okay.
I did this to get up. The back of my chair hit the table behind me, which hit the girl in her stomach. She said, ouch. I turned around and said, sorry. Bailey was like, you're talking in my classroom. I was like, Wait. Let's explain how this happened. And me and her are both like, wait. And she was like, no, get up here. We get up. She's, put your hands out. I said, no talking in my class. I was like this. She hits us. I was like, okay. The other girl was like, word? I'm telling my mama. My mama coming in here. I'm like, I'm telling my mama too.
Uh-oh.
I told my mama. My mother said, so what did you do?
Nothing.
I did. She was one of those, whatever the teacher, I said, you need to listen to your babies and listen to your kids. So the next day, my mother didn't come in. That girl mama came in. Yeah. I was like this for him because I was like, she got to act like my mama too because my mama, this is like
she's our mama today.
Yeah, exactly. Today she's our mama. Yeah. And I always said, because I don't have any children, but I always said, not saying that my kid can't be wrong or whatever, but you have to take in effect, you raise your child, you raise them with respect, you raise them to be a certain way. Your kids will do this. We know this. I did some bull too at times. I know. But listen to them. Because more than likely, they're telling you the truth. You know? And I just wanted, more than likely. And it wasn't anything bad. Literally, this woman was wrong.
Yeah.
She was wrong.
Girl, you've probably heard this story, and most people that know me have heard this story. So I grew up in a small town in North Carolina that's mostly known for a military base. So there was a school in the town called where like super racist things would happen when our teams would play against each other. So we went to their school to play, and like the concession stand people was calling people the N-word. One of my teammates got spit on. We were in the parking lot and some dudes in a truck acted like they were going to run us over, screaming the N-word, all this stuff, like crazy racist stuff happened. So then like we went and was explaining what happened, and they told us to go sit in the corner of the gym and stop causing trouble. Sit here and don't move. So all these things happened to us and we got in trouble. So I called our assistant principal, Uncle Tom, because I was like 7th grade, maybe. So it doesn't matter. But so I was fussing about the fact that how are we getting in trouble when all these things happen to us, you Uncle Tom? So he was like, don't move, don't talk, don't nothing. You are in trouble. Yeah. You got to come to my office tomorrow. So I went home, explained all the stuff that happened. And my parents came up to the school and they were like, listen, like it's your job to protect these girls. And that's not what happened. And when something like this happens to them, they can't be in trouble for this. Because what happened to them was wrong. And so I ended up not getting in trouble, but it also like affirmed me in a way that was like, oh, so I'm supposed to speak my mind and stand up for myself. And like, especially in 2020, like, you know, I have a 3-year-old who walks around talking about no justice, no peace, literally. Because you realize that it is important not to silence our voices. And so, yes, I'm, you know, a tall Black woman, dark-skinned woman in the skin that I'm in that is comfortable being who I am and honest about like my journey and what I want out of life. And almost unapologetically, I say almost unapologetically because I'm one of those people that be like, oh, I'm sorry. And be like, no, why are you apologizing for everything?
Apologize for it. No need. So yeah, no, but that's good that your parents did that. And to go back to with my mom, I think it had a lot to do with, at that point, I was in elementary when that happened. And my father, was he around? I don't know, because at one point my father was in jail for a certain amount of time. So I have to think about it. I don't know if he was out yet or whatever. So in all along, she was taking care of me by herself. And we were also Jehovah's Witnesses. So my mom, and it's so funny because she's such a different person now, because we're not Jehovah's Witnesses now compared to then. And she was young. My mother had me at 20 years old. So she was a young mom.
My mom was 20 when she had me too.
She was 20. And it was like, have a roof over her head, keep her fed, make sure, just just keep it all together. Keep it all together. We had the religion that brought us some type of community, and it was like that whole passive, be passive.
So
Don't say anything.
I have a question for you. The type of school that you went to, did you go to like Catholic school or
Girl,
was it regular
public? I went to public old school.
And they keep you in public school and nobody drop kicked them before?
That's why that girl's mom came the next day. That ended. And it was a whole big thing. But I'm saying, but mom, again, going back to my mom, it was this, so it was more of, okay, then what did you do? Just, now, when we got out the whole Jehovah's Witness thing, not saying that that's what did it to her, but she just had a different outlook on life and her priorities. Now my mother's my biggest advocator. If anyone says to me, she, but I'm like, which is wonderful. But I and I need it, we all need it, but I know I needed it a lot then. And because I didn't get it then, when she does it now, which I love, it's still that little girl in me that doesn't believe her, or doesn't believe that she's, I'm not saying supporting me, but yeah, supporting me or just protecting me.
So here's a question for you. Do you think that your mom stood up for herself in the way that you needed her to stand up for you that day?
Stood up for herself when? In
that time frame. Because like a lot of, like what I'm learning now that I'm Amari's mom is a lot of the things that I held about like situations with my parents. I have more compassion about it because I'm like, wow, like you really are, you leave the hospital with this person and like, no clue. My mom said she's never seen us look more terrified in our lives because you literally hand you a whole person.
No instructions included. That was my one moment play. I'm like plugging it, but it's no instructions included. It's like here. Okay. It's so funny how you have, like in America, you have to have a car seat to take a baby home. Like back in the days, you didn't have that, but you have to have a car seat, regardless if you have a car or not. You have to have a car seat to take the child home. Have you ever seen 90 Day Fiance and all that? Those crazy.
My mama watches it, but I've seen so I see it every now and again.
Across the country, so the people go across different countries to be with whoever. So it's an episode of this girl. She's American, and he's, I think, Ethiopian or something like that. And she has the baby. She had a C-section. It was like, the whole thing. It was like, first baby,
C-section where? Here or in Ethiopia?
Yeah, she had the baby over there. And her mother did not want her to have a baby. It was a big thing, but she did. So she's going through what she's going through. Time to leave with the baby. He's like, you didn't get a car seat? He said, no. She said, you can't take. He was like, we don't do, like, just take baby in the car. And like, I got a cab. And she's like, no. So it's just so interesting, the rules how they change and how you have to protect that baby and how.
But here's the crazy thing about that is that the protection is extended to like, are you safe if a car gets in an accident? Like there's no like specific roadmap to like what you're like the baby can be in the nicest.
But not like, remember, you couldn't even get the baby to sleep with do you put a thing? I was there, everybody, I went and visit. That baby wasn't sleeping. I said, put a bop in his mouth. Nobody wanted to put the bop. I said, put that bop in her mouth. Nobody listened to the no baby person. When they did,
I had a baby for like 5 days when you came.
No, I know.
So my experience versus yours was not different.
But that security of like, oh, you have to have a car seat, whatever. Yeah, but they give those instructions, but what do you do with this being?
And everyone's like, oh, it's instinctive. You'll just know. And I mean, like, to a certain degree, yes, but no. Like, we're still figuring out, like, how to be people ourselves and, like, to honor, like, the things that we need and the things that we want out of this life. Mm-hmm. And, like, you're literally, like, tasked to do it for a whole other person. Like, and not even to do it for them, but just to, like, pay attention to and honor like who they are. Because I think a lot of stuff, because that's why I was asking you if you think like in that time, if there was something that your mom needed to stand up, a place where she needed to stand up for herself, would she be able to do it during that time? Yeah. So cause like you're literally learning that you are using the tools that you have. And if you don't have that tool, you don't know how to do it. And in that experience, she probably learned how to do it. And then as an adult, like you're teaching her what you need.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we have these conversations.
Our relationship is much better now than it was. But I think about those days, I think about those little instances that happened, and I'm like, wow, things were like a little bit different. But it's no mistakes, because it molded me into who the woman I am, good and bad, and what I had to work on, So it's no mistakes regardless. I am gonna go get my coffee, and I'm gonna put some either shepherd vodka or gin in it.
I was about to say, you
I
about to
don't
put
have
some
any more
fancy
rum.
stuff
I don't
in
have
it.
any more rum. I don't have any more tequila. Brunch Breakers, I need to stock up. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you should have took some with you when you left my house, because I
Well,
cannot hang with y'all.
Prosecco. I took that Prosecco. I stuffed that in there. Remember, I got that in there. I got that. I was like, I'm taking this for Prosecco. But yeah, I have. Yeah, no, you need your drink. So I will be right back. Wait for me.
And I'm just natural, the sunlight from the window.
Yeah, mine is going.
You
have that on sunlight?
Yeah, I don't have no lights on. It's
huge. Look how dark it's getting in here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, so the whole thing, and me and my mom, we're much better now. Much better now.
What did you end up putting in your ooh, that face. What is in there?
I put vodka. Tell me now, with the vodka, and I didn't put any sugar, because I'm trying to lay off sugar, which has been very interesting.
But isn't vodka sugar? Don't it have alcohol as sugar?
Probably has, but on my regular coffee, I don't have any sugar. But this is brunch break, so I'm putting some vodka in it.
Okay, I'm not judging. I'm just asking questions. You grown and you're minding your business. I apologize.
Oh, and everyone, happy anniversary. Thank you. Taz. Even if I know you're working right now, but I know you will celebrate when you see your boo. So you're celebrating today 11 years, because yes, this is the type of lady who gets married more than once. They do it like they did a yearly thing. So November 1st, it was a wedding, but you got married on December
31st. Yeah, we got married on New Year's Eve because it was a Wednesday.
Exactly, because Wednesday is this, and that's another thing. Wednesday are their special day. Isn't that sweet? They have a special day.
Well, we started dating on a Wednesday and we got married on a Wednesday, and it was the last day of the year. So it was like, so we can spend it's a reason, like getting married on December 31st means we'll always bring the year in together, and we'll celebrate, what we went through and what's to come. And it was a Wednesday. And so like, I remember sitting at Christmas dinner with our families, and they'd be like, so when are y'all going to get married? And we were like, Wednesday. So Christmas was on Thursday.
Yeah.
And we were like, Wednesday. And everyone was like, ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, nothing. We're getting married on Wednesday. And so I think by the time Sunday came, everybody like panicked, because they was like, yo, they're really going to get married on Wednesday. So we ended up having a small wedding at home, with the agreement to get married again and have like the big wedding. But our small wedding was beautiful too. It was like
pictures were gorgeous.
Small, intimate, very, and like
those are the best ones.
It was perfect because it was so much more than we expected. Because we were just gonna go get married, because it was like, we want to get married on Wednesday because it's Wednesday, and then and so to end up having an actual wedding that was put together in 2 days, and like, it was beautiful. And we slow danced in the kitchen to Al Green and got married in front of the Christmas tree. It was beautiful. And so the next year we had like the big gargantuan wedding, And it was just a lot. And I think that I remember joking, like, I don't know how people have weddings that aren't married already, because the amount of
that being your
stress.
first one, that being your first one. That's why so many people, you see bridezillas and all that craziness. People will it's attention. It's a lot of, if it's not you yourself, it's the venue, family members, his side, him, what you want, what you don't, what he doesn't. I mean, so many different things
It
happen.
snowballs into being about everything except for like why you decided to get married.
Many brides say after the wedding, after it's all over, like done talking, they don't remember what happened. They didn't see this. They missed the whole thing. Like, so it's for everybody else but the two people who supposed to get married.
For me, because we had this beautiful, like, intimate, I was like, I don't understand. Weddings cost so much money. Like, why do people do this? And I didn't really understand. Then I went to Tasha's wedding, and all of us were in her bridal party and cried buckets. And it was just beautiful. And it was like, oh, I get it. Like, it's an outward presentation of gratitude for the opportunity to love one another, so that other people can see it and participate in it and celebrate it and love on you. Because like so many things that everybody did, like in the process and the lead up to it, was so like unexpected and so humbling, because it was like, wow, like we are really, really well loved. And we didn't know like the capacity until we shared the way that we love each other. And so like, it was just, I'd be like ducking and dodging compliments and like y'all want to celebrate? I'm good.
I'm trying to turn this light a little bit, my light higher again. It's getting weird. Like, you still have bright light. I don't know what's happening out here in Jersey.
And it's cloudy as a mug out here.
No, but I'm getting, hold on. Okay, I turned it on, right? I turned it on. Okay, this is, okay. Oh, that's good?
Yes.
All right.
You might need to shift it around. Okay, yeah.
Shift it up. Because I don't want to be too bright. Ooh, sexy.
We're so silly.
Okay. So yes. But that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, weddings are,
I did not get it.
It's a lot. But I've seen some beautiful weddings, beautiful vows, the love between just those two, when you see them together and you could tell, if we all just blow up or go whatever, those have, it's that bubble. You see it with some couples. And then some weddings you're like, wow. And you see, and a lot of times, not say they don't last, because some people have beautiful weddings and they still whatever, but you see the difference of how many people let ego and other forces just take over.
Soak up the day.
Being about you too, because that's what it's supposed to be about. Regardless of, I know you want to share this with your family, share this with your friends, love, 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 love. But at the end of the day, it's you two. And so many people forget about that, and with weddings, you see it because it's so many energies around.
My mom did makeup for a wedding, and like the groom was around, like in the process and stuff, and everybody got in the limo to head to the venue, and we were like, isn't that the groom? And he was standing outside of the building and he wasn't dressed. So we went over to the wedding venue and he never showed up. And I was about to say, and then this ninja, and then that gentleman, he didn't show up for the wedding, but he came to the reception.
So what does that mean?
It means they're still boyfriend and girlfriend. So
and she allowed him to be there?
I was like,
you just that's a beyond disrespect.
I was was like, I don't understand what's happening, because she was like, we spent all this money. We about to go party. We're about to turn up wasn't a thing then.
But he wouldn't be there.
But she was like, we're going to do this. And then he popped up there. And we were like.
And he was partying?
I was like, oh, we're leaving because I don't want no parts of this. Because what in the...
Are they still boyfriend and girlfriend, or did they ever get married?
Oh, I don't know. I know if they got married, it wasn't my business. Because that was just crazy and shocking, because you're like, wait, this dude, like, was there through the whole, everybody getting ready, like, wave goodbye to the limo. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe it's true that you're not supposed to see the bride, because he saw us leaving. And then his behind didn't come to the wedding.
And he saw her too. And he saw her.
Well, he had to, because all of us left. And I don't remember trying to hide her. Like, I feel like she talked to him.
Wow.
Before we went to the thing. And then
maybe she knew he was going to do that.
But we waited. And she was like, we spent all this money. We're about to go cut up, or whatever the term for cutting up was then. But he came to the reception, and I was like, you'd have to worry about me and some cutlery.
Yeah, no, not all that. It'd be like a Sex in the City, Carrie and Biggs. Just, how did you do this to me?
but she still married him though.
But look what happened. She had to grieve. That's, you're heartbroken. She had to get over it. He had to get himself together, because he was like, what am I doing? Like, he got in his own. Because what happened? The wedding it got bigger than them. Bigger
it wasn't
than
about like
it wasn't about, and that showed that movie showed so much of it needs to be about you too. And what happened at the end? They got married, just pieced them two. And he was like, well, are you okay that your girls weren't here? She said, it's okay. It's just about you and me. Open the door. He just got her close, good friends. They celebrated at a diner.
And sometimes that's more than enough, because I think a lot of times there's so much focus put on the wedding that people are not focused on the marriage, because it's like, okay, now we're married. And
it's so, and
I go to work.
Girl, and we talk about the whole relationship thing and it being a foundation, because you have to have a foundation, and you both have to be on the same rock together of wanting the same things. I mean, it could be, we all don't have exactly the same thoughts of everything, but you complement each other, and you could, maybe I'll give more of this, or maybe this, or maybe this makes sense, but you're willing to communicate. But bottom line, you're on the same rock and that same foundation together.
But
and
you're learning.
You learn, and you go up and down, and you go up and down. And then at times, especially you've been married for, you get off the rock. Someone gets off the rock. Not all the same thing. Someone is floating in the water. Someone, all kinds of stuff happening. But you still communicate, whatever, and get back on. And it's always going to be ups and downs. No relationship. We fight with our parents. We fight with our siblings. We fight. So of course it's going to be.
We fight with each other.
We fight with each other. It's no way that you're just going to go, everything is so beautiful. We just love each other and everything. Yeah, you should love each other, of course.
Like, you might have pockets of that throughout the day.
Of course.
Even on days where you're like,
Of course. And then I say that because, and it's so hard. We're talking about the COVID and on my end, I'm dating, I guess, or single, or whatever I'm doing. I'm mixing it up. But finding someone, well, what I'm doing, and I think I said this with one of our first episodes, we're talking about dating and me getting to that third date and all of that. When Jackie was on, one of our Brunch Breakers, she was our guest. What I'm doing differently now, because I've been in so many weddings and I've seen so many people, my friends who have been in marriages and the ups and downs and the togetherness and I've seen divorces, I've seen it all. Really dating with intent in what I want, and not that crazy checklist, because I did that stupid checklist before. I've done it. I had it. I want this and yes, this and here, this and I ain't meeting the man and none of them.
But you know what's funny? Sometimes you will meet a person that checks all the boxes and you're not compatible at all.
And that's how
And you'll be like,
I wanted
about these boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Because I wanted this. He's this, or he looks really good on paper. Oh, so shiny. So shiny and nice on paper. And then when you really get deep in it, you're like, I don't like you.
Ooh,
And you don't like me.
That's real. That's real. Because it's a lot of people, because that's the thing there's a couple that I know, I was about to get real specific about the couple, but I won't do that. But there's a couple that I know that I'm like, I don't think they like each other. Like, I don't, in the time, they've been together for a really long time, but like the way that they talk about each other and the way that they talk to each other makes me feel like, gosh, they really don't like each other. Like I am tolerating you because of this commitment, I guess. Yeah. And it makes you very like, cause I think I was very cynical before I started dating my husband and before we got married, because it was just like, yeah, I'm good. Like it's straight foolishness out in these streets, because like I think most people, but I think also being younger, people don't know what they actually want, or people know what they think they want, but they have no idea what they actually need. Yeah. And so they're out here like entertaining or spending time with people who are not good for them.
No, not good for their spirit, not good for their soul.
Yeah.
And it's and in time, and I mean I find it so interesting when I hear of couples who like met in like high school or grade school in the sandbox.
But look, I roll my eyes and I'm like, wait, I met my husband in high school. Yeah. But he wasn't my boyfriend.
But he wasn't, but some people have been together, or they, or like right after high school, and then they find their person. And
I can't imagine. Wow. I've been so many people since then.
Yeah, because you change. So what happens to you? I mean, obviously you have to change together, and we're talking about being on the rock, jumping off, coming back on, blah, blah, blah. But people who keep it together and married for the 40 years and
Yeah, my in-laws have been married for 47 years, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I went to my friend Doug's parents' anniversary party in the summer. They were married for a good, it's in the 50s. I think it's in the 50s. I think so. I don't think it's the 40s. I think it's in the 50s ish, that range. And she was the sweetest. I was talking to his mother. I was like, what's the secret? She goes, I just communicate, just talk. And he had his life, like he did things. He went, did stuff in Haiti and this stuff. She went to college, and they had their, and another thing, they had their own passions.
Outside of their passion for each other. I think that's,
you have to have something that's still you. So you can appreciate when it's time to let that, put it to sleep, whatever. Appreciate that, love you, love what you do, have a passion for whatever it is. And then you can appreciate that person that snuggles so wonderfully in the nooks that you need to be held and puzzled.
And I think we're also conditioned to like get all googly eyed about people who've been married for 50 years and like almost discount what it takes to stay with someone for 50 years. Because it's like, who knows the ups and downs that they encountered? And especially like, you think 50 years ago was 1970 and you said it was 50 plus. So there are people who were married in, let's say 55 years ago, they got married in 1965. You think about how much the world has changed. Like 10 years ago, 2010, did I have an internet phone? I don't know. But I'm just saying like the drastic changes that have taken place from one year to the next with technology, with things like that, to span a lifetime. There are people who didn't live for 55 years. Yeah. And like their marriage has gone through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, like they continue to plant seeds that blossomed in different seasons. So
Mm-hmm.
those seasons of marriage, like the garden tending that had to be done in order to like continue to grow. And so it is very admirable, especially when you see people who have been married for a long time and who are happy and complimentary of each other. Because
Yeah.
sometimes people are like, yeah, we've been together for 722
Yeah, you
years.
can tell those types too,
Like,
no, but they compliment each other and just
run. Or it's like, yeah, this is my person.
like they're just tolerating each other for whatever, to be
And
for whatever reason, you know.
the people who still have the twinkle in their eye when they talk about their person, and they're like, you know, they've been through stuff, and that stuff made them stronger, that made them appreciate each other so much more. And it's like, yeah, I want to be able to, you know, be honest that it wasn't always like perfect or easy, but it was always love. And so, because a lot of times people will say,
It has to be more than love too, I think too, don't you think?
that's why I said there's a lot of people tell you that love is not enough, but like a lot of times, whenever you think about like when things are done in love, it kind of bears the brunt of like that stuff that's hard.
Yeah.
And so it's like if it's done from a place of love, you can hear hard things. You go through hard things, and like also there's a lot of faith that goes into like building a life with another person. Because it's like, yeah, like part of understanding and believing that you can make it is that like you made a commitment to each other, and you made a commitment to God.
Yeah.
Like in our case. And so it's like, yeah, we are like, this is my person that was perfectly set apart for me. And
Yeah.
so,
But then what do you say to people who, okay, like myself, okay, so I'm dating, I'm trying to be open now, I'm not doing the list, I'm intentionally dating, intentionally being calm and still for the right. I have faith that I know God will bring me my right or put me in the right place, so then that right might just walk in. You know, you never know.
somebody around here will find you. He that finds a wife, find a good.
But if you're going on and you're getting older and it's not happening, it just hasn't happened. Not saying you're not doing anything bad, you're not doing anything, you know, it's just not happening. And then unfortunately with this whole year, the COVID kind of like put a little on the single people. That's why dating apps have gone up so crazy.
Dating apps and alcohol.
Yeah, and alcohol. And weed sales. Recipes.
I love you. About this banana pudding.
Brownies, anyone? So, like, what do you say? Because it's like, and it's that you get older, it's like, I'm content, I'm okay. Like, I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. Now, it was at one point, I was lonely, and I would be upset that I'm by myself. And then date someone, I'm like, okay. I would date someone, I'm like, okay, this is it. And you can't go in like, this is it, because more likely, will go down. So I'm over that, and I'm doing the work internally. And I know other singles are too. Like, everybody's just not crazed. Everyone's not crazy. Everyone's not crazy. They just haven't found that. But is it that some people are meant to just be by themselves?
Well, I think that.
You're not saying that they're not a loving person. They have loving family. They have friends. They have, you know, but like you said, you find that you're one. What if?
But I told you before, I was super cynical, and there was parts of me that was like, I might not ever get married because I don't think I'm built for, like, we were joking earlier talking about like relationships, and like, I didn't do long-term relationships very well. Like, I was very much like, oh, he breathed in and out on a Tuesday, this is not gonna work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it very much caught me off guard, because I wasn't looking for my person. when my person found me. And like I said, I've known my husband since I was 15, and we didn't start dating for over a decade later.
Yeah.
And so he was my friend. And so that was a huge thing for me. Ooh, it got dark in here quick. You see how
that? Yours is,
I turned into a scary movie.
Oh. It got dark. It's changed. Like yours is a little later than mine, but I'm trying to keep it. Woo. Okay.
Like, I prefer the other light.
Yeah.
Figure out if I should turn this light, but
what, the lights? I know, it's like
it got weird. I turned green. I'm like, it's trying to be a scary movie in these streets.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe I should. I still have my shades up. It's dark out. It's getting dark outside though.
Yeah.
We've been talking for a while.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Brunch Breakers. I'm Cass.
I'm Fab.
And we will see you next week.